Hello and welcome to the Goodfellas podcast, the podcast where two mates talk nonsense for your benefit. I'm Clark.
And I'm Sean.
How's it going, brother?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. Another week. It's a week on since our first ever guest.
First ever guest, very popular.
Very popular.
Terence Nightingale Davis.
It was good. I enjoyed that. And now it's back to just us
Just
two again.
the two of us.
We feel a bit lonely today now. It's gone back to normal. But
it was really good, wasn't it?
It was
It
good.
was good having Dad on. I think he brought a good dynamic to the podcast.
Yeah.
And we just bounced off each other, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely. It was really good. I enjoyed it and stuff. And then, like I said, we're a week on.
Yeah.
We've had some good weather this week, isn't it?
And it's going to be even better, isn't it?
Yeah.
As the week goes
Been a
on.
good day today. It's still slightly warm, and I've got a
Yeah.
nice beer for you to have today when I present it. So
I can't wait. And as you can see, it's beer number 12 now.
we've reset the board.
Yeah, last week, obviously, we recorded the 10th episode, so it was the 10th beer, but we lost the audio in the first half, so we did two beers last week. Sean's put the graphic on. We're going to be uploading the graphic every week now, just of our beers.
Kind of
as the
top rate beers and
leaderboard.
that, yeah. Which is
But
good.
yeah, so it's number 12, and nothing has beaten the Monshoff yet, has it?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
Off is great.
Might never, ever happen.
We'll never know.
But yeah, before we start and before you give me the beer, we really want to say thank you. We've hit 3,000 subscribers on YouTube,
It's incredible.
which is
so
honestly
amazing.
for 2 months. We never even thought it would get to this at that stage,
Nope.
did we?
Not at all. I've been like I said, I would have been happy to have like 10 people. You know,
Just
and, like,
watching us.
just watching us, listening to us, you know. But yeah, to have 3,000 people on there.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 1,000 on TikTok as well now.
Which has happened today.
Instagram has grown, and if you've not entered it yet, please go to our Instagram page and check out a competition we're running, because there's a week left from today to get yourselves entered.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's 4 beers, but after last week, it's now going to be doubled up to 8 beers.
Yeah.
The competition.
I mean, to be honest, the competition with just those 4 beers, I can tell you for a fact those two are delicious. With those two, they look great, and another 4 beers. It's you've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
Because it's worth it.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So yeah, thank you all. We're very grateful, and long may it continue.
Yeah. So before we jump off the top rope for today's episode,
Oh yeah. Lay the smack down on this beer.
maybe, I am going to present you the beer. Okay? It's your favourite part of the beer. I've gone different. I've gone
I'm glad.
local.
We've had a lot of German.
Okay, I've gone
Not
local.
complaining.
We're kind of done 1 to 10. We're going 10 to 20 now.
Yeah.
So I've gone local.
Yeah.
It's a can.
Ooh.
It's a pint can now.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And I present you very local. An Arbor Ales.
Great shout.
So this,
Great
for people
shout.
who don't know, is a beer brewed in Bristol from a local
Yeah.
brewery called Arbor Ales.
Yeah.
This is their 1 pint can of Hell's Lager.
Not had this one.
Have you not?
I've had the Shangri-La, which I love.
Yeah. So this
Not
is their
had this
version
one.
of like a Hell's Lager. So
Okay. ASMR
I think it
time.
says a Munich Hell's brewed with. Well, actually, it looks like they follow all the rules they should do.
I mean, the marketing of Arbor always looks really clean and
Clean and
crisp, doesn't it?
It's a nice kind of like
It's good.
gritty feel to a good grip on the
Oh,
can.
it smells hoppy, yeasty eggs, barley, malt, salt and pepper.
Pepperoni, all that good stuff.
So pour off. You got a nice stein today, dog.
I know, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, good head. Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, the colour on that.
oh. Look at the colour on that. Cheers,
Both are good,
brother.
eh? Cheers.
Oh,
That is nice.
yeah, nice. Cheers, everyone.
First sip.
That's a good one.
That is a good beer. Whoa, that is nice.
From the smell, I was expecting it to be a little bit, like a bitter taste.
Yeah.
That is crisp.
Every beer, I think, crisp. That is nice. And you get a full pint this time as well. I like these 1 pint cans. It's nice, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
I gotta say,
we'll get into it later. I'll give you some facts.
yeah, but just again, it's the Hell's, the lager, my gosh. It is, what percentage is it, dog? 4.2.
Only 4.2, but it is.
But
lovely.
I tell you what,
Gluten free as well.
well, delectable. Thank you, Arbor. And of course,
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you, Beers of Europe.
There's a again.
Our affiliate link will be in the description. It's on all our socials, our link tree, which is probably the best way you can view all of our content.
Yeah.
More stuff is coming soon. We're in the works. We got our crazy minds at work.
We are developing some stuff which
Yeah.
we hope to bring to you would be good.
Yeah, we're going to try and develop humour as well, you know. So
It's not there yet. Yeah, okay. So while we enjoy this delicious beer, excuse me, before we get into today's topic,
yes,
we'll have a quick sports recap. Very quick. There was only a couple of ones I want to talk about. Football for me, and then you're going to bring up boxing.
oh,
So-
what a night that was.
Yeah, so I'll go into the football first. Two teams and stuff for that, I know. But I suppose we do have to say, officially today, Liverpool have been crowned champions of the Premier League.
Yeah. Can't take it
So
away
through
from 'em.
gritted teeth,
Yeah.
congratulations on winning that. I mean, you had a chance of 4, but you only got 1, so
So really, it's a
still
rubbish
loss.
season, isn't it? No, I can't take it away from
No,
him.
no. Yeah.
Salah, up until last couple of weeks when it was done and dusted, has been godlike. The whole team has been really good, solid. Never looked like losing in the Champions League or anything, did they? Really?
To be fair, I think you just got to take your hat off to the players and how they've transitioned, and what a great first season for Slot.
Couldn't have
You know,
asked for better.
Yeah, so as much as we joke around, congratulations winning Premier League. It is an achievement again.
Well deserved.
I think that's tied with Man United now, isn't it?
2020.
2020 now on title, so
Yeah, took a while for them to catch up.
yeah, but
But they're there.
Um,
They're there. Yeah.
So then, quickly, I suppose my team yesterday we got a 3-0
Bounce back.
bounce back we needed, 3-0 win home to Ipswich, and unfortunately they are now relegated from that. So the bottom 3 are all relegated, as we know: Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich.
Yeah, sad for Leicester mainly. Just because, like we said a couple of episodes ago, I think everyone has kind of a soft spot for Leicester.
After that, yeah.
One of the best sporting achievements ever.
But what it has done is with the win we had and all that, and with Chelsea's win and stuff, is that top 5 now below Liverpool for us
What
in
a
Champions
battle.
League.
What
For
a
the next,
battle.
Next 4 weeks is
It's
going to
going
be.
and usually a lot of stuff's not up for grabs in the Premier League
No.
at this stage. Really, you could, I sometimes it is, but some places you usually they're going to be top 4. But what a battle it is.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I
It's
think
gonna be
City are
interesting
going to
right to
get
the
there.
end.
I think City are going to get there.
I think City. Yeah, I think Arsenal will still keep their spot.
Yeah.
Man City.
And then I think it's between 4 of you.
Yeah, so it's us,
Forest,
Villa, Chelsea,
Yeah.
and us. Like you said,
Yeah.
it's 4. Yeah, so be a battle. We'll see how we get on.
It will be a battle. United drew, like we were talking about earlier. Didn't look like much until the sending off, but then we should have won the game. Which I got to say, Bournemouth away, it's not too bad
No.
for where we are.
And
at the
I
moment.
mean, I watched it and I said the first goal they scored again is you tried playing out the back, and the commentator, I don't know who it was, but he said it is like it's fine to play out the back, but you have to do it right, especially against probably the best pressing team in the league, which I've mentioned before. I said I
When
said,
we were doing our 11,
and I said like when they smashed us 4-0, and I said the only way to beat Newcastle would be to outpress them,
And
they
that's
did
what
that,
they
and I was
did.
like, and I reckon that's why they're really good.
and on their day they're really good. So
Yeah, the sending off changed it.
It
I
did
mean, you had a
change
lot
it.
of chances. There was a lot of good blocks and saves they did. But
Yeah, fair
you
play.
got a draw.
Yeah.
You got a point.
yeah,
it's
it's,
good.
it's irrelevant to our season really.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's really good, by the way.
Gonna enjoy that more. Yeah,
Honestly, I'm gonna have to, especially as it's local, Bristol,
yeah, 100%.
representing. Well done, Arbor. Never had this one. I reckon it's newer.
Probably is. Yeah, but very good. That's kind of it really on the football. I didn't
Yeah.
want to talk much more of that. So the bigger thing for this weekend really was, like I said, you mentioned it before in one of the other episodes, and there's been a lot of build up. Eubank versus Ben.
Yeah, well, Eubank Ben 3, although it was obviously Eubank Senior against Eubank Junior against Connor Ben, and the build up we spoke about it was tasty. Obviously, Egggate, he got a bit
Yeah.
eggy, and obviously Connor Ben has failed the drugs, so there was a lot of animosity and stuff in it. And then for a couple of weeks, Chris Eubank Senior was on on YouTube or whatever, and it's like my son's a disgrace. Would I want any part of it?
Because he said about how you
I,
egging
yeah,
someone
yeah,
out. Like,
so
why
I
would you
didn't
do-
teach you
yeah.
that. Da, da, da. I wouldn't want any part of it. I'm not doing this, not doing that. And then on the night, which they had it planned, which was brilliant showmanship by the Eubanks, and what Chris Eubanks Senior has always been a great showman.
Yeah.
But it was so good. It camera, obviously it was at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, they'll stadium. Yeah.
65,000. The camera panned in when Eubank arrived, and Eubank Junior got out of the car, and then the door opened, and the Senior was there. You seen it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just smiling, and then the father and son, like, they hugged, and you could see it on Junior's face. He was like so chuffed to have his dad there, and I truly believe that boost helped
Mentally,
him.
yeah, definitely.
Helped him
massively.
mentally.
I mean, the walkout, I was...
Oh.
When you walked out and you had the two songs, you had Simply the Best, didn't he?
But that was what Senior always walked out
Yeah,
to.
exactly, which is great.
And it was
Then
so nice.
Then it skipped to, like, a weird song I don't know. And then obviously...
It was like a dancey song.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and then it went to the... And you had the orchestra, and then Still Dre.
No, it was such,
That was
Oh.
brilliant. I would have loved, like I said,
what a spectacle.
I would
If,
have loved to have been there to watch
if
that.
they do a rematch and say it's like we try and get tickets
Oh,
for
yeah,
that,
definitely good for that.
and just like do a live stream podcast and whoever's with us be like, oh yeah. No, but it was an amazing spectacle.
Yeah.
And obviously their dads were world champions, beasts, amazing, and it lived right up to their fight. It was,
It was
right there.
a good...
People were saying it's one of the best fights in boxing, British boxing history, which is amazing, mind.
Especially for when
Amazing.
they've come from different weight classes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, to make it... It's not like they've both been middleweight and they finally got there. It's like they've had to
Yeah.
do what they've had to do to get
They've
to
had
the
to
same
do-
weight.
yeah.
Obviously, the weigh-in, if you've not seen it
And
as
the
well,
rehydration.
0.05
and to fine him
pounds and get fined half a million for that was
I
ridiculous.
think it's out of order.
That's, yeah.
It does seem a lot like Matchroom, Eddie Hearn and that were trying to do everything they could to favour Conor Benn.
Yeah.
Smaller ring, so Eubank can't manoeuvre. They changed the gloves at the last minute, it's like horsehair and stuff. They fined him for the 0.05
£5, man. That's ridiculous.
know.
Like,
I mean, he probably just had to like just get whatever spit he had left go.
yeah.
And something, you know. And yeah, so it just seemed like everything was against him, and then he must have felt like that. And then obviously for his dad to come, he must have been like.
Yeah.
Because even in the fight, a lot of people were saying, and I agree, he looked still like the weight cut had got to him.
Yeah.
But the Eubanks are beasts.
Yeah, because like midway, like 6, 7, he looked like to be fading a bit.
He looked
had
like
a
he was
cut in his
done.
eye and
Yeah,
everything.
he
didn't
looked like- and he just
then
came back.
Came back and stuff. He had
Oh.
some good hooks and stuff and that.
Oh,
uppercuts on him,
and the
didn't he?
cleaner stuff was Eubank.
Yeah.
But I looked at the CompuBox, which is obviously who, because some people are like, oh, it's a draw, or Ben should have won. Eubank Jr. outlanded him by 120 odd punches.
Wow.
Yeah, so the clean, he was. It didn't look like it sometimes because they
Yeah.
were so close.
But then that's
He was by far the winner.
unanimous points.
It was the right decision.
Was it 116 to
116
112?
to 112
All
across
yeah.
the board.
Yeah.
Really, really chuffed for Eubank Jr. because he's chalk and cheese, which some people don't like him, but
I think it's like most boxers sometimes.
yeah,
Unless they really get like that. I feel like there's
it is. But a lot of people have been like really for him to win this fight. I was chuffed for him. But boxing fans won in general.
Yeah.
Because it was a colossal fight. Amazing. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads me to go on from a fighting theme of boxing. So obviously we did have Terry on last week, and we did reminisce a little bit that I grew up, or kind
Yeah.
of not grew up, but I used to come when I was growing up. I used to come round your house a lot, and one thing we probably missed out was the amount of fights and scraps we used to have
It was
consistently with each
every
other
time, yeah, every time.
and with your dad and other people.
My
and everything
dad
like
would brawl all of us over
and it just it got me thinking on something we don't watch a lot of now, but was massive, religiously.
It was a religion.
Was WWE or
WWE.
WWF for the older generation out there?
But from early 90s, I remember, I think it was WrestleMania 2 or 3,
Yeah.
when Hogan obviously slams Andre the Giant. From then, I've been hooked. I watched it with my dad, then watched it with you guys, and obviously someone who I watched it religiously with as well, Chris Green. Remember, we watched it a lot. Like whenever you stay around ours, which was quite a lot, he would come around as well, and we watch. It would be on the Friday. It'd be what was WCW? It was WCW Nitro. Then
Yeah.
we watched Raw.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday we'd watch SmackDown. It was just the best. And if there was a pay-per-view, it would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, they just
Brilliant.
had, I think they had recently WrestleMania, didn't they?
And they've tipped the cap off to them, haven't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, like, a lot of people listen to this, like, might have been WWE fans, might not been, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of people, if they listen to this up and down the country, will remember kind of doing swanton bombs off the couches on each other,
Rock
when you're a kid.
bottoms.
Rock bottoms and stuff like that. you know.
3Ds.
Doing replicating all the top moves and stuff. So
Yeah.
I suppose really the first kind of question is like, how did we both get into wrestling? Into it really. I think for me it was probably a bit more Scott. My brother was watching it a lot more at that point, and then I think it was like something I started watching.
Well, I actually
get into it.
remember I got Scott into wrestling.
Was it?
I remember. But you carry on about how you.
Yeah. And I remember watching it. He had it on and stuff like that, and then I remember watching it and stuff like that, and then God, what's this kind of thing?
I know.
You know, as like a
I
young
know.
boy, you're there watching it, and then
Especially as you and Scott are obviously brothers, live in the same house.
Yeah.
You're like wrestling.
Oh, I have
moves, like-
many a scrap with him as well. We practiced like mum and dad go out, right, quick, get one of the pillars off, put them on the floor, and then we just practice moves on each other.
Yeah.
Although I always kind of lucked out him being the older brother.
Yeah.
He was like a certain bit more dominant. It's like, oh no, I'll do this move on you, and then no,
Yeah.
let me do it back.
That's true.
Then it get into a scrap, but
Yeah. No, I remember, like I said, I was probably 3 or 4. My dad had the VHS, the video of like WrestleManias and that, and I remember watching it. I was just hooked.
Yeah.
So entertaining back in the Hogan era. And I remember it was only a year or maybe a couple of years later, and you guys come round. But remember when we first grew up, because Scott was a bit older, we were that little bit. Me and Scott would gravitate to each other. Not much more, but just when you were like really young and you just you were annoying.
Has much changed.
no. But then I remember showing him, and then I showed a lot of people a specific DVD. I can't remember what it was, but because I wanted everyone to watch it.
Yeah.
I was like, "You've got to watch this.
It's like-
It's amazing." Like Chris Green, a load of school friends. From my dad, obviously.
Yeah.
My dad loved it, and it is just. If it was still Attitude Era vibes now, I would still be watching it. I would. Although I rewatched when The Rock came back as the final boss in that for a couple of years, and that stint. I still love it, but obviously the Attitude Era, godlike.
Unbelievable that was.
great-
That was the
greatest.
best ever kind of wrestling period.
It was.
When you just like there was limits, but like now where there's a lot of things they can't do,
Yeah.
it was kind of no hold bar back then.
No hold bar.
So
no
good.
holds barred. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Love it. What a great topic for an episode.
I know, and I like where do you dive in on that? And I kind of it's hard to say now. I mean, did you get any injuries when we were wrestling? Can you remember getting any injuries or anything like that?
I'll tell you what. The one thing I remember, and because a lot of it was around my house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just on that, I want to encourage, don't try this at home, as they say as well. Like,
but
do it.
Yeah.
We don't want to get into
Yeah.
trouble.
No. Remember I had my
Yeah.
climbing frame. I have a
Yes,
climbing frame
yeah.
in the garden. We do like steel cage match, Hell in the Cells and stuff like that. And I remember you have to say your story about when you choked out Gary Jack.
What, in your front door, yeah.
Right in the porch, wasn't it? But I got injured once we were playing, and I had my mum and dad. Obviously, I was a only child for a lot of my childhood. A story I'm sure we'll talk about another time. I met my sister later on in life. She's older than me. But for a lot of my life, I was an only child. You're like my brother, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But so we'd always have friends round my house. And we would always do Royal Rumbles, tag teams, a lot, wouldn't we? And there was one time I was against my mate Paul, and it was like an I Quit match. So you do a lot of submissions. And I never forget, he turned my ankle, he ankle locks me, and he turned my ankle, and my foot was like that. And I was like, ah! I remember crying after. I was like, I quit. And he was like that, I was like that. I was like, get off of me. But my ankle hurt for a while after that. Nothing like landing or impact wise, because I was young, just got back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, my ankle.
I remember, so Jack won. That was when we were around your house.
Gary
weren't we?
Jack,
Gary Jack.
yeah.
We were around your house, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what happened because there was another incident I was going to bring up as well in a minute.
Okay.
Something else happened around your
Okay.
house, non-wrestling but fighting related. And
Okay.
yeah, I can't remember what happened, whatever. But I said something, or he turned his back on me, and I just decided to jump on him, choked him out.
Choked him, and he was going like pink. He was like, and he cried after. And I was like, "What's going on?" And you're there just like strangling him like that.
Something must have upset me, or I just decided to do it out of aggression.
Yeah, well, that would suit the character.
The other one I was going to bring up, you said about Chris, was, can you remember we were around your house and you were playing on Halo, I think it was,
Okay.
and he slapped you around the head a couple of times.
Oh.
And I was like, you don't want to carry on doing this.
No.
And then you were like, do that again, we're putting gloves on.
Yes. Chris Green, I hope you watched this episode.
I know it's going slightly off wrestling, but I remember that was one of the moments in that. And then you slapped around the head again, and you were like, that's it.
The thing is, to preface Chris Green, right? He's like, I'm just going to throw you under the bus here. Didn't have a lot of fighting ability. But he would go at you, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
No
he would
fear.
Never stop. Yeah, he wouldn't back
stop.
down.
Like, he would always come around my mum and dad's house, and like, him and my dad would be like, oh, going at something, and then my dad would go to walk away, and Chris would go something like, oh, you pussy. Like that. And my dad would just come out, and he'd always grab him in the inner thighs.
That's horrible, that,
and he'd always grab him on the inner thighs. And I can remember him going, no. And he'd get off, and as dad's walking away, he'd be like, that was nothing, you bitch. Like that. And he'd get him again. But yeah, carry on.
But no, I remember I was sat there, he was sat behind, you did it, and you were like, no, that's it, right, gloves on now, and you took off your thing, and I was just like, oh, you don't want to do this, Chris.
No.
I remember going downstairs, and you had, like, in your back room, you had, like, no TV, you had, like, a little sofa bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll sit here, and then you were like, headgear, and he was like, no headgear. I was like, no, I think you need headgear on. And you made him put the headgear on.
I made him put the headgear on.
So you both put your headgear on.
Because I was obviously kickboxing.
You were kickboxing, you put your gloves on like that. And I remember I counted him, I was like, right, go on and start and stuff. You were like, and it looked like not even, like you weren't getting up, it was like that.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, you got it, and he flipped
over the sofa
where I was. I was like that.
And he was knocked out.
For about 30 seconds.
He was knocked clean.
And I was like that.
Yeah.
Get out, and he woke up.
Yeah.
What did he do as soon as he got back up?
Straight back at me.
He was like, oh, I'm carrying on then.
I just went, boom, again. And he went, boom. But it was proper knockout.
Yeah.
If he didn't have the helmet on, I might have broke his nose or jaw.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I cleaned him. I remember him getting up and he was like, and I remember your face, you were like, cool. Like that. So yeah, well done.
So I remember that.
Well done, Gron.
I remember that. And then a couple for me, I remember when I was with Scott at home, once he did, we obviously practicing the moves and wrestling and stuff and that. He did a tombstone pile driver after The Undertaker. And I'm like, young and like,
impressionable.
Stupid. I'm like, yeah, okay, do it to me. So he gets me up. Well, I'm like upside down like that. And I remember he dropped it to me there, but my head hit and I had like my neck like ricocheted. And I was just like, oh, I had some bad neck pain for a little while.
Yeah.
And I was like, because you're dropping, like I said,
yeah, but that's
legs here and that, and he's dropping it.
Dangerous move.
Tombstone pile driver. But I did get him back a couple of times. I remember we were doing when I was a bit bigger, I suppose, when we were wrestling. I got him in the walls of Jericho.
Yeah, I remember.
And I did that, and I was like, I pulled, and it clicked.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which he still has like purple marks on the back of his spine now, is we were down in so when you used to go in our old house, you used to go in the kitchen, and it's like a little corner wall, yeah. Before you go, so your kitchen was there. We had a little corner wall, and you had the dining room table and stuff. And it was in the morning, and he'd done something to like kind of wind me up, and that. I was like, oh, that's it. And he turned his back turned. As he turned, I ran. I just speared him.
Yeah, I remember.
And his whole back went like that into the sharp bit of the bruised bottom.
Yeah, KO.
And he has got now. He's still on his back. He's got a couple of like purple lines from where it happened. So that's one. He did chip one of my teeth as well. Wasn't much for wrestling, but it was like I was trying to scrap him and fight him, and he didn't want to. And I ran at him. He just put his foot up, and my toe hit my heel, and it chipped like I got like a little into the teeth tear.
Yeah.
I was really doing that.
Yeah.
There's like a little bit missing in between the two front teeth. But,
I'm talking about chipped teeth for Scott. Obviously, Scott got bad chipped teeth, hasn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, that happened. Karate,
Yeah.
which was they were playing like touch rugby or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and it was pure
And-
snapped.
Yeah, and the guy literally 18 stone bloke kind of thing.
Yeah.
Went to get like Scott had the ball, obviously got it, and he kind of like jumped, fell on Scott, and obviously because obviously like when you do any martial arts, like if you haven't done it before, any sports hall, but it's hard wooden floor. Obviously they're sprung forward sometimes, and both his his front teeth went into the floor, and just snapped both his front teeth and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, a few injuries from from things like that, I suppose.
know. Just 2 seconds. I just want to see. Flumble! My daughter should be in bed. Bella? Oh, it's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, sorry. My daughter is just running around.
That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
So I suppose, yeah. So that was kind of like, let's start off with, we grew up. Did we have any injuries doing it, stuff like that? And then kind of, I suppose now, what kind of drew us in, like the stories, the entrances, theme music,
literally all of what you said. Yeah.
And I think the one, like, if you want to start about stories, I think like the one for me which stood out at the beginning was Edge, Christian, and Gangrel.
Yeah. The Brood.
The Brood. But remember they did like the flaming
Sacrifice
cross
of Stephanie.
Yeah. And then like, they're looking
Well, that was
that.
the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah.
That was one of the best periods of wrestling. That whole storyline. And who saves her? Stone Cold comes out. No, the Ministry was brilliant. I loved that because it really made Undertaker seem like this devil, and he was going to have his way with the whole WWE. But that was such a good, like, Gangrel, obviously. The Brood, Edge, Christian, they had our Viscera, didn't they?
Yep.
That was really good. The storylines for WWE, the entrance music, the entrances, like even back with Hogan and Andre Giant was a great storyline.
Oh, 100%.
And then as you worked your way up, because Hogan was obviously a lot of the 80s with Andre into the early 90s, but then like Bret Hart and Michaels and Shawn Michaels and Diesel and like
Or like the next one stuff.
Yeah, and then when Bret Hart left, it was around this time. I think Hart might have still been there, but it's a lot of people say the Attitude Era started when Austin did his famous. I think it was after King of the Ring. He was like, and I just said Austin 316 just whipped your ass.
Yeah.
And then it became Attitude Era from then. Everything. But the stories of the Attitude Era
were
godlike.
And they'd go on for like weeks and months, some of them, to build up. I think like we've said it before, one of the greatest ever promos was the Rock Austin build up to the WrestleMania.
Is the greatest promo.
What WrestleMania was that?
17. It was WrestleMania 17. It was the last of 3 that they did. And it was My Way, wasn't it?
Yeah, by
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit, yeah.
And it was just, but the way they had edited it with the music, because My Way was on Mission Impossible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's down, and it builds up, and what's the chorus? It goes,
"Did it my way on the highway."
And when it hits the chorus and that, they're scrapping and
But I remember because you watched the promo video and it was like the build up to that was really good. What they did because it was like there was a moment where they got beers, aren't they? And they're slapping the beers at each other's hands and stuff. And then it was like the first time you ever really saw them. Or I remember seeing them doing each other's move to each other. So the build up like. Stone Cold did a rock bottom on them, and then vice versa, the Rock did a stunner on them. It was like
in
the ultimate insult.
Exactly. In wrestling terms, it's so personal.
Yeah.
If you did your opponent's finisher, it was seen as sacrilege.
Yeah, it's your signature move, like that wrestler's move. That's what they're defined and known for to try and finish a match and stuff.
And that rivalry is the greatest rivalry ever. Obviously, Rock, Austin, and Vince McMahon, and The Rock, and everyone. Vince McMahon is up there. But for wrestler, it's The Rock and Austin.
Yeah.
That was the Attitude Era, wasn't it?
It was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, I know some people might be listening to this and thinking, it's just wrestling. It's
Get over it.
It's fake and all that kind of stuff, but it's an entertainment sport.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was going to bring up some of the ones we've, in a minute, St. Carlson, it's like, there's been a lot of bad injuries from wrestling, even from professionals. Deaths as well, which Owen Hart when he fell off and broke his neck.
I mean, there has been deaths. Austin, like never the same after that pile driver.
When
Hart broke his neck.
Triple H popped his quad or whatever it was. Yeah.
And then even Vince McMahon, remember when he ran into the ring?
It ripped.
And he got up and tore both quads straight away. But apparently, with that story, he was legitimately angry.
Yeah.
So I think it was Orton and Cena, and. It was Cena and Batista in the Royal Rumble. And both went over, didn't they, over the top rope? And he come out really pissed, but apparently he was. And then she got up, stood up, and he tore both quads. He fell down, and you could see him. He was just like sat there, like, oh my god. But yeah.
So obviously they do train a lot, obviously, to do what they got to do. They have to. So I suppose really like can you pick 2 or 3 iconic moments? So,
Easy peasy.
go on then. I'll let you go first.
This is
We're talking debate them or whatever. Yeah, go on.
there'll be no debate, as I
Do
say.
you want to wrestle?
Yeah, go on then. Iconic wise, Undertaker throwing Mankind off at the top of the Hell in the Cell.
Which was
absolutely
iconic.
People thought Mankind was dead. The cell was like 20 foot, if not more, up in the air.
Yeah.
And he threw him onto the announcer's table. Call it a fake all you want. There's no cushion. That's that's not a soft landing.
No.
It's onto concrete floor after the mats.
Yeah.
Nothing, and he was not moving.
But Taker didn't want to do it, did he?
No.
Mankind asked him.
What the nuttiest person
He
ever.
was like, he said, I want you to throw me off the cage. He was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you got to throw me off the cage.
No, he was like, this will be the most iconic moment, which I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. Hogan slamming Andre the Giant.
Wow.
The first time ever.
And I mean, people not even knowing what wrestling is would probably have known, the older generation would know Andre the Giant, the
and
name,
Hulk Hogan.
and how big Andre the Giant was.
550 pounds, legitimate, he was massive. And Hogan got him up and got him and just slammed him. Like, oh, that was absolutely iconic. Those two are straight away up there. I see my mind's going now. Steve Blackman when he takes Shane McMahon off the Titantron.
Which is even
higher
than
the
Hell in a Cell.
What, 30 foot or more, 40 foot maybe. And he hits him with a kendo stick and he just goes, ooh, boom.
Straight through. Yeah, and it's like, you think that's a margin of error.
Yeah.
And he doesn't hit where he's got hit.
And he's probably dead.
And insane that, like you said, Shane McMahon, being the son of, obviously, Vince McMahon, wasn't really a weekly wrestler.
No, he wasn't.
But athletically and all that, it was amazing. Like, he was the only one I could see who would jump from one turnbuckle in the corner to the other one, drop kick someone.
Apart from like a Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
but that's one or two wrestlers. Oh mate, there's loads.
The other ones for me would have to be the first ever table, ladders, chair
Of
match.
course, and that spear.
Yeah.
That spear when he's hanging on. Like Jeff Hardy just gets folded in half.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about 15 foot in the air when he's holding on to the ladder, and Edge just goes boom, and the landing again. If you get that wrong, that's on his neck.
100%.
Yeah.
But that was just like, that was full on carnage, 6 men. So, like, for people who don't know, it's 3 teams of 2, and they're all fighting in and around the ring, and there's basically a belt hanging so far above the middle of the ring. And the idea is you have to get a ladder, you have to get up there. It stemmed from a ladder match originally. It was a ladder.
To grab the ladder.
Grab the belt, and if you grab the well, you win the thing. But obviously there's 6 blokes, you're all fighting each other. But they added in tables and chairs.
Because the concept was,
Yeah.
is that the Dudleys, they always used the table.
Yeah.
So it's like, Devon, get the table 3D. The Hardys always use ladders, and ladders to do swanton bomb and stuff like that. And then Edge and Christian, they built it into the match. It was great storytelling.
Yeah.
They started using chairs for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why it was the TLC, tables, ladders, chairs. It was probably the greatest tag or triple tag match
100%, I
in
think
history.
so. Yeah, 100%.
It's right up there. Another one to say is the first time you meet Kane, when it's Michaels against Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell, and it's like, oh my god, that's Kane?
Yeah.
That's the Undertaker's brother. And you're like, what? And he was even bigger than the Undertaker, massive. And he rips the cell door off, and Undertaker loses. There's loads I could say. Austin finally, The Rock finally beating Austin at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, you could have Stone Cold being brought out the beer truck.
Yeah.
Taker being buried alive.
Buried Alive is up there. Yeah, loads. There's loads.
One I think was a bit later on when it came, when there's Shawn Michaels. Was it Ric Flair?
Oh, what, and he beats him.
He sweet chins him and he says, like,
he's like, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which is like, because Ric Flair is one of the oldest,
one of the greats,
and it was like he was basically ending, and basically it happened at WrestleMania, and Shawn Michaels did it, and he generally was saying that because he knew that was going to be the end of this guy's career, and that's been his life.
Yeah.
So he does his finishing move, but before he does that, he says, "I'm sorry and I love you."
Yeah.
Sweet chins him, pins him, and he's like, he's flooded tears.
Yeah,
Isn't he? Like,
literally. Well, following from that is then the match Michaels against the Undertaker, the career match, at WrestleMania, and like, and he goes, to the Undertaker. And Undertaker like that, tombstones. There's loads, I could say. Like Austin and Mike Tyson, where they pushed him in the ring and that. Like,
I
yeah.
had a few celebs like come in there. Didn't Donald Trump come there once
Yeah,
when he was young?
Trump
Yeah,
against
yeah.
Vince McMahon. Or a wrestling purist, if you're watching this, I know you'll probably want me to say this. It's when Austin was against Bret Hart. Let's see if you remember this. The I Quit match. And he has Austin in the sharpshooter and blood's just running down his face. And he doesn't tap out, he goes unconscious. And that is what gave Austin the boost. And Bret Hart went from a fan favourite to a heel.
Really?
And
Yeah, yeah.
Austin went from, I don't know, to a fan favourite. It was amazing. Loads. This, you could tell we used to love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like when they brought in, like I said, Hell in a Cell, when they brought in Elimination Chambers, which is a
Hardcore
different
matches as
hardcore
well.
matches.
Yeah. Loads.
It's good. It's good. Like for the people who don't know, there's multiple belts, isn't there?
Yeah.
You've got like a world title belt. You've got like an international belt,
European,
a European
intercontinental,
belt,
hardcore,
tag
tag team,
ladies,
yeah, ladies,
women
Loads.
stuff and that. But yeah, I mean the storylines were just
Phenomenal.
unbelievable. So I suppose kind of that then. What would be your favorite ever wrestlers? I'll say wrestlers, so you can give me not just one, maybe give me a couple.
Well, The Rock's the GOAT. No question about it. What he did in 7 years, no other wrestlers compared to what he's done. Had he stayed on, there'd be no comparison. The Rock was amazing. He had it all. He was the best on the mic.
Yeah, I was about to say
100%.
that.
That's
Yeah.
non-debatable.
Which is why he's probably done so well in
that's
acting and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
why. He was the best at selling moves and selling finishers, the absolute best. Remember the Austin stuff? Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Goes miles, yeah.
I'll give you like a Mount Rushmore, like Americanize it. The Rock, Austin. Austin has to be there. Personal favourite of mine is Shawn Michaels. I loved him before The Rock and Austin became that. And then I'm going to go with, I think, as an all-rounder, he's only surpassed by The Rock and Austin, and that's Kurt Angle.
Oh,
On the
okay.
mic, he was brilliant. He was hilarious. He was great, especially when he got to Perk Angle when he was on all those drugs. He was brilliant.
yeah.
Best technical wrestler ever. I'd put him above Bret Hart and Benoit, but they're close. But yeah, there would be my four. Rock, Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Angle.
Give me a fifth then. Give me your top five.
Undertaker.
Undertaker. Okay.
Honourable mentions, Hogan, Ric Flair, Triple H, and John Cena.
Yeah, I think for me, mine was always 100% The Rock. I was with you on that.
Yeah.
We were the biggest like rock fans and stuff like that. Because I know like Scott was obviously always Triple H.
Yeah. He was there, like in the Attitude, it was Rock and Austin, and Triple H was right there.
Yeah. Michaels as well. I loved Michaels and Sweet Chin Music and stuff like that. Rob Van Dam was one of mine.
Yeah.
I used to love Rob Van Dam.
One of a kind.
5-star Frog Smash was good.
Austin?
Yeah, I did like Austin, but he wasn't like in like the front of mine ones.
Okay,
I know
yeah.
I was always like out of the three, The Rock, Austin, H, because it was like those three battle
Yeah,
out.
it was The Rock.
I was always there.
Yeah.
Probably Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I know they came as a tag team, but I like Jeff Hardy for
Yeah.
the
And he went
flamboyant.
on to his stint solos after,
Yeah.
so he did do great.
And then something else, probably like them more after, unfortunately. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, brilliant.
Like, I never really appreciated of how good, like, because he was good again, like on the mic,
Yeah.
selling
He
himself,
was.
like all that kind of
Great
stuff.
wrestler.
Great
Yeah.
wrestler, frog splash and stuff. And that.
Rest in peace to him. He was
Yeah,
amazing.
unfortunately, yeah. What
He
happened?
was just in his prime when he died. Eddie Guerrero is a great shout. Fair enough. Yeah, that would be. Is that your five?
That was my five.
Rock.
Yeah. So Rock.
Van Damme, Hardy, Guerrero, Michaels.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I always quite like the funny ones, so I always liked Rikishi,
Yeah.
the Stink Bomb.
Rikishi.
I always had a bit of a soft spot for Mark Henry,
Yeah, Mark.
the strongest man.
Sexual chocolate.
I mean, the Big Show.
Big Show, great.
And you said earlier about Hogan with Andre the Giant, but when John Cena did the Big Show and the ring collapses
I know,
and all that. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, you know it's
Yeah.
made that it's gonna do that or something.
Not always.
But not
though.
always. But
Yeah.
the whole ring collapse, everything. It was just like, I think when you're watching that and as a kid, you're like,
Oh my god! Yeah,
the ring
yeah,
claps.
yeah.
It was like the last fights, and like
Yeah,
no one else could. But it was. I remember things like that. It was
yeah.
great.
Kane as well. Kane
So
was
good.
an animal. Yeah, loads. Evolution. We had Batista, Orton. Right, didn't really watch it much lately, but Roman Reigns,
Yeah,
Cody
I
Rhodes.
mean, even like when you go back to Degeneration X,
Yeah,
X Pac with the X Factor,
New
Billy
Age
Gunn,
Outlaws. Yeah. Oh,
Baymaster.
you didn't know? Saw them live, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, saw them live. That was brilliant in Wembley at O2 Arena.
So, what was your what would go on then? What would be your best entrance song? And I think mine's probably changed over years because I've listened to a song, and you probably know what I'm going to say potentially. And a lot of people know it is
Edge?
Edge.
Yeah, you're gonna say Edge.
On this day.
Honestly.
I see clearly.
Really? Yeah, no, yeah, that's really good.
It's
If
got
I,
me, yeah.
if I was just talking like as a song, it's probably that. I love the rock. I am just a rock fan, especially when he went to Hollywood Rock. Remember, it was like the video of the moon. I think he first did that in Canada. It was like, and no one knew who it was, and then all you heard was "It's cooking."
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like down, down, down. The Rock Undertaker with Rolling was brilliant. But I love when they did the Ministry. It was like the Ministry version, Ministry of Darkness. I have to play it or put it on like a list.
I know the one about it.
It was
Yeah.
like down, 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 down. I
mean,
love
Degeneration.
the Generation X.
Crazy.
Oh, Shawn Michaels. Yeah. Loads. Kurt Angle's was always a good one. Yeah, loads.
Good. I mean, like, the Undertaker, when you said rolling there, just got me thinking as well. It was a WrestleMania, I'm pretty sure, and they had Limp Bizkit live.
Yeah, they
and he
did.
did it, came out, and he comes out on a motorbike, and
Yeah.
they're like, it's rolling,
Rolling, rolling, rolling, what? Keep rolling, rolling.
which
Yeah.
is good. But I think, like, if you had, and it's definitely the way they've done it, like, if you have a good intro song, it's like the most iconic moments, I suppose, have been when you're like, someone's getting their ass beat.
Oh,
It goes dark, or like, oh, who's next in
in the Rumble.
the Rumble and stuff now?
or like,
and you think
yeah.
you just go like, it was silent, and you go, if you smell,
Well,
or like, Austin, like,
or, when you were in the shattered glass.
Yeah,
mate,
yeah.
It was like, oh shit.
you know, any
Yeah.
good ones who had like that,
Yeah.
instantly recognisable. You're like,
Well, like the Undertaker, obviously, it would go dark, and all you hear is dong.
yeah.
Like you hear the gong, and you're like, oh my god, it's the dead man.
But he always just do it, and he'd be like looking at the Titantron, ready,
yeah,
the
yeah.
entrance come in, and then
He'd
they would
go
go
dark.
light, and he's stood behind him.
Yeah, brilliant.
Turn around like, oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was
Just
good.
trying to think. Edge was obviously had a really good one. Oh, Orton's one of Orton's songs,
Oh, Orton's good. Like,
and like what's the CM Punk, loads.
okay, favorite finisher then. Well, finishers. Let's go
Yeah,
top three.
I'm gonna change it up because one of them is the rock bottom. The rock bottom. People's elbow.
But would you say So would you say because like he would do the spine buster a lot of the time into the people's elbow, which obviously was just like they're doing it. You have
So-
JR and all that and stuff,
King.
and King going, oh my god, the most electrifying
Five
move.
moves in Sports Center.
Throws off his his elbow band, does it, bounces, and then obviously hits it, and then obviously like his finisher. But the rock bottom was great as well.
Yeah.
I think for the era, like the earlier ones were great, but I really enjoyed. You just said his name a minute ago, Orton, RKO, because I feel like
So famous.
oh the Viper, he's
Yeah,
winding
yeah,
it up,
yeah,
and then out
yeah.
of nowhere, just
Yeah.
pull out an RKO. There was one he did like mid-air.
Yeah.
Someone's jumping off
the turnbuckle. I'm not sure if that was Shane.
It was someone,
You know?
but he jumps mid-air and catches him in
brilliant.
mid-air and does it. I'm thinking, oh
Yeah. No, that's amazing. Sweet Chin Music is up there.
Yeah.
Dum, dum,
I think.
dum, dum. And he just do it out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, to do that as well, like because one of those ones is like the rock bottom stuff is fine. You're lifting someone, you're slamming them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when it's like a clothesline or like a kick or
Oh,
punch,
clothesline from hell.
Yeah.
Bradshaw, like,
but when you're doing stuff like that, like I said,
Yeah.
Sweet Chin Music, they've
Yeah.
got to make it look like it's connected.
Yeah.
And I wonder how many times they actually did
well, funny you say that.
clean him. Like,
That is why him and The Rock never worked together.
okay,
So a bit of background stuff, like Shawn Michaels was known for A lot of people hated him behind the doors in wrestling. A lot of people, and he was on drugs. And he said himself, you watch it on videos, he's apologized to a lot of people. Anyway, The Rock was up and coming, and what Triple H and Michaels tried to do for a lot of talent was stop him.
Yeah, yeah.
They were literally jealous and that. And I can't remember what it was, but Shawn Michaels, he kicked him and he caught The Rock. And he did it. Apparently backstage, they were like, The Rock was like, oh, you did that a bit too hard to there.
Oh, okay.
And Michaels was like, oh, if you can't handle it, get out of the business. And apparently The Rock had him pinned on the ground, like ready to batter him. There was like a few witnesses. Like, The Rock's a beast anyway. And like a few people said that he was close to beating him up. And that's why he never worked with him. And something about Michaels insulted his grandma.
Oh, okay.
And they're all in the wrestling business, the Rock's family.
I imagine that might have happened quite a lot, things like that. You think, like,
course.
in a business where you've got, like, blokes are huge, they've got, like, obviously they're fighting, there's their career aggression. Like, you know, it's a contact sport, and you're working with these guys day in, day out, week in, week out. Obviously, they set what they got to do. And I suppose if someone does something wrong or doesn't do it right or upset, I bet there was probably a lot more behind the scenes you don't see of actual confrontations and things like that. Not like saying scraps, but like, you know, whereas like in an everyday workplace, you might get upset with someone in the office or you might
send an angry email.
It's and now I imagine it would be a lot more, especially when you're like practicing and doing things like that.
For sure, and they're big blokes on steroids. Like, they're gonna be like Braun Strowman, massive guy. You seen that video when he's with Brock Lesnar and he knees Brock in the head, and Brock's head goes like that. He probably knees him, and like Lesnar's supposed to be hurt. He gets up and he goes, boom, straight into his head, because they call it like giving a receipt, don't they?
Yeah.
And like he hit him in the head, and he's just like, fucking calm down, like that. But yeah, so they do it.
Oh, I was going to say, actually, kind of gone back. Iconic moments. I think one of the ones I remember seeing early on was Triple H when he pedigreed. I'm pretty sure it was Mankind again onto the thumbtacks.
Oh yeah.
Like, and if anyone don't know, like a pedigree is if I'm stood up, I'd put your head in between my legs, like spine. I kind of pick your arms like that, so your face is facing on the floor, and then basically as we jump, I land on my knees, and you force your head into the floor. And you can't do anything because your arms are like locked behind you. If you can see in the video like this, like that, and so you can't do anything. And there was thumbtack, proper thumbtacks, legit, not
open,
come up, it's like all blood thumbtacks stuck on his face.
Yeah, I know. He was a maniac, that guy was.
We'll pause it on there, and just so we can do a beer review.
Of course.
And then we'll carry on a little bit more wrestling.
Crikey, that flown by.
So far.
Easy to talk about.
So, I'll let you write the first one down just while I get some facts for you for the Arbor Elves.
Pass me.
I will pass you black for the name and blue for the scores.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you thinking at the moment? Like, it was a good...
Oh, no, it's up there, mate. There's no doubt about it. Arbor Hills. What is it, black for the name?
Yeah. I will get these up for you in a minute. Yeah, so Hell's Lager. You bear with me.
Oh, yeah.
Bear with me, cooler.
So this is certainly up there for me. It is, again, the Arbor Hells. I wish you had a number, because that went down very good.
So, as I kind of mentioned earlier, it's a gluten-free, Munich-style Hell's Lager brewed by Arbor Elves, as we said.
Lash.
Based in Bristol.
Yeah, represent.
It's a pale German lager. Yeah, I could see the pale ale is kind of look to it and the taste and stuff and that.
For sure.
It's known for being clean, malty, and it's just gone on me now.
Clean, malty, and...
So we do have errors in the episode.
Yeah, and this
clean,
is
malty, sweetness, and a subtle hop character.
Nice.
4.2%, as you said.
Yeah.
It's brewed with, it's a German, Hallertau Nuttolfrüh hops, a classic German noble hop variety.
Didn't butcher that.
The beer is malt scented, providing a pleasant grainy sweet flavour.
It's really lovely.
It describes unfiltered and having a slight natural haze, which you do. Mouthfeel, it has a medium body and a moderate carbonation, contribute to a smooth and refreshing character. It was definitely refreshing.
It was lush. I could have a load of them.
I think, and I'm going to say just a bit Arbor Elves because there's a local brewery in that. They started in 2007.
Yeah, I've been there and had a few drinks there. I've had the Shangri-La, which is lush, but that's nicer.
Yeah, that is really good.
Bristol.
So I haven't been there. Somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to go. Yeah.
So for me, 'cause now you're doing it this way, I could definitely, like you said before the other week, like a lot of the beers we've had are session beers. We could have that.
Yeah.
If we were out, I could easily do
Loads.
5, 6, 7, 8 pints
Yeah,
of those.
12.
20.
Right, yeah.
Still be standing, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So if
I'm going to go first.
oh, okay. Do I want to go first? I
Yeah,
can't
a lot
remember.
of the time.
Go on.
I'm going
It starts with a 9.
9.0.
So just under.
It's right up there with the Monshoff. Arguably, it's right up there.
Okay.
It is.
Hey, no, 100%.
It's
I
that
agree.
good. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting. That is really. I'm from
Yeah.
a can as well.
No,
Really good.
Yeah, good. Pint can as well.
Yeah.
I'm on the same wavelength as you.
Yeah, it's right.
Not
up there,
as good as the Monshov.
but it's close.
So it'd be my
What was yours? A 9.
9. So I'm going to go 8.9.
Yeah, got to be 7. It's right there, isn't it?
8.98.
It
So
is.
I'll give you one of the double digit ones.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
so that-
Thank you.
Oh, definitely get
Yeah,
yourself.
like fair play.
some of those.
I mean, that is delicious. Well done, Arbor. You have you smashed a lot of the Germans out of the park that we've had. Well, all of them but one.
Great. Okay.
Yeah,
Beer done.
delicious.
Back to the
Back to
wrestling.
wrestling.
So, anything else you want to bring up before I kind of maybe bring on a little bit of
No, I
some
think
of the last final bits?
I think you can crack on.
Okay.
Apart from the Rock's the goat.
A little bit fun,
yeah.
I suppose. If you're going to create your own wrestler.
Okay.
Okay, so this goes back to, right, okay, if people, we're big gamers as well. We probably have to pull this up.
SmackDown.
So, SmackDown versus Raw were massive games,
Yeah.
and we played a lot of them, and
Yeah.
like as part of our gaming kind of history.
Yeah.
And obviously they were great, and you can make your own characters on there.
Yeah.
Okay, now sometimes you can make a stupid character,
Yeah.
stupid name, looks silly, like
Yeah,
really skinny or really
like,
foul, or
light
whatever.
green hair. And
Yeah, and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm on about now if you could make yourself as a character, as a wrestler,
Yeah.
go name,
Yeah.
maybe kind of look,
Yeah.
good or bad persona, what would
Yeah.
you be, and what would your finisher be?
Oh, so persona, I'd be like anti-hero, like Austin.
Okay.
It's just such an easy one.
To fall into, I mean, I get that with you.
Yeah. I'd probably go for Faymaster. I'd go for Faymaster.
Faymaster, what a great
Finisher,
move.
good move. Yeah, no, maybe the what was X-Pac called?
The X Factor.
Yeah, the X Factor.
Like that.
Yeah, but also remember that when we jumped
The
into
Bronco.
the Bronco Buster.
Bronco Buster, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, like that.
Yeah.
No, I think a good finisher.
Can we make your own up if you want?
Okay, you got any thoughts while I think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I already had mine when I was.
Oh yeah, me too.
So my name was the Wizard. That was my wrestler's name.
How
was the
original!
Wizard.
Yeah.
The Wizard. There's no other wrestler called the Wizard that I know of.
No,
My look would be like
like
a wizard.
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd come out.
Yeah.
I'd have my wizard hat,
Staff.
a staff, and all that, and I would take it off, and I, because then obviously you get into, do you have a leotard or just like a pair of like the pants they have? I just have the pair of pants with
Yeah.
big purple boots.
Big boots. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe like some sparkles on the pants and stuff,
You
like
got to,
magic.
you got to have your spells tattooed over you.
Persona.
Guardian Leviosa.
My persona. Oh, I don't think I'd be a lovable character.
The standard.
Yeah, I'd be like a bit of an evil hatred character.
Yeah.
Like an evil wizard, like a Siron.
Yeah. Oh.
Just-
All right then.
And then, yeah, my move was called, it was like the Wizard Bomb or something, I think I called it, back in the day.
Vada Kedavra.
I didn't Harry Potter back then. I think it was called like the Wizard Bomb or something, I can't remember off the top of my head.
The
But
Wizard Bomb.
I remember what it used to be, it's like, you know, like used to do like the fireman's carry soup, but it'd be like, I'd get them in like a suplex, but I'd have your leg hooked like that, and I'd get you like up.
Yeah.
So not like a normal suplex. So one leg might be up, but one would be tucked in, and you'd be curled in. And as I drop you, I kind of twist and turn and drop you on your neck a little bit on the side. But
Nice.
not like there's a finisher where he does that,
Yeah.
but it's not that. It's like it's still that. It's kind of still suplexing, but twist you on there and that.
Yeah.
And that was like my finisher move. So that was.
Yeah, no,
I
nice.
remember it was like a suplex drop on the neck.
Yeah, no, no. I remember. I can't remember what mine was called. It was probably something to do with like orca. It's probably like the killer whale. No, but it would be finisher wise. It would be something like that, like a suplex, because you didn't ever want to use a lot of the other wrestlers' finishers, did you? You wanted to get a set that you could use, but look good enough to win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like,
Just
is there
a
anything you can
suplex.
think that you might modify, like a DDT or something like
Well,
simple move
DDTs are great, aren't they?
like maybe not take a finisher, but take like a because mine's like a suplex finisher. Take like a normal move they all used to do
Yeah.
and twist it into a finisher.
Well, all I'm thinking of is I'm like, oh, that'd be good, but it's of someone's finisher. Like the Tombstone. I think a DVD. Like I was just describing the jackhammer then, getting like that, lift up and jackhammer. Yeah.
Yeah.
F5 is great. Yeah, mine was something. It was like a German suplex, but like German suplex. So you're
Yeah,
from
yeah.
behind. You do that. You go to pick them up again. And it's like you lift them, and then like you sort of flip them, and then do like an X Factor.
Okay, yeah.
Not bad. But yeah, mine was like it was like red pants,
Red pants,
red
okay.
boots, and he had like a red hair as well. Yeah, like went for the bright colours.
I like it. What would
He
be
was
your...
called the Wizard Destroyer.
Oh, the original name. What would be your entrance music?
Like of any song, like
Well, I-
wrestler's song.
It's hard, isn't it? Because, like, yeah, I suppose we can't go really a song because they,
Alright, so
'cause
do
they all had music pretty
Yeah.
much made for them.
Yeah, they did.
From certain things. So,
So like a wrestler.
yeah, let's say we were that, but we stole a wrestler song.
Yeah. Um. I'd probably go with Bret Hart's. Yeah, or Hogan's. I am a real American.
That was great. That was
yeah.
so legit. I'd probably go for Edge's.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I could see me being in a tag team with Edge.
Yeah, and getting slapped. Remember as well when we played that, because SmackDown was great, and you could create your own person, like you said.
Yeah.
But we would do Royal Rumbles, and we would do 15 created characters, 15 wrestlers.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, oh, who comes out on top? And we'd do a tournament, and we'd just watch it sometimes.
Yeah,
wouldn't
would
we?
you and just like...
Oh my God, a created character won! Or like, you know?
There
yeah.
were some legendary games to go alongside,
Oh.
like, and there literally we can't put into kind of context
Words.
of how much we actually did watch wrestling, do wrestling, play wrestling, and stuff.
It was
like that.
it was weekly.
Yeah,
For like 10,
so
12
it's definitely
years.
like
15
big part of
years.
it. So, I mean, we've just given you some ones we thought of when we were younger. They might be good or bad, whatever your thoughts are. I mean, if anyone was out there and you had some yourself and some names and stuff from that, send them in.
Yeah, send
Let us
them
know
in. Send them in.
what yours was.
Or
and stuff like
send your most popular or standout moments when you watch wrestling.
Yeah, because obviously we've tried to highlight as much as we can, and to be fair, a lot of the time as we do it, because it is live as we're recording this, I put Clark on the spot a lot of the time.
Yeah, there's no.
I can imagine if we had
yeah.
longer, and I gave you prep time,
Research,
you would come up with a lot
Batman
more.
with prep time.
Yeah, a lot more ideas of that moment, this moment, this happened, that happened, and there's probably thousands out there.
Yeah,
as
we
well,
we don't script it before, do we? You just say, "Oh, think about doing this," and we're
I have a topic, I have a question, we just go
and that's
straight
it.
into
Yeah, we don't.
So yeah, there's probably a lot out there, and you might be shouting.
Probably missed a lot,
stuff
but,
like that,
fuck you.
Do you still watch it?
Not that much now. I watched it up until
Yeah.
The Rock came back with the final boss and stuff, and then I don't really. Although I did catch up on the Cena and what he did to Cody Rhodes. Like he became the bad guy and then he won.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad he won. He deserved to go out on a high. But no, not really.
No, I haven't really watched it. I think I watched potentially one of the WrestleManias maybe a couple of years ago. Obviously, I think the last time when I went live and watched it in Cardiff with the lads.
Yeah.
Which is
last year.
No, it's
year before.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I think, which was really good. And obviously, we watched the other one at the O2 Arena, me, you, and Scott.
That was 10, 12 years ago. That was.
Yeah, that was brilliant. But I haven't watched it. But it has moved to Netflix now.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to subscribe or anything or pay for it. It's
have a look.
included in Netflix.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
It's out weekly now. You can watch the Raw.
What a great one for them, mind.
Oh,
yeah.
Unbelievable. It's going to propel them even more.
Yeah.
And I suppose the evolution of wrestling. Then, like, when we kind of like conclude this, like, do you think the magic is still there? The generations we grew up, because, and there might be people saying, "Oh, like you're just big kids and stuff," but if anyone watches wrestling, majority of the people watching wrestling are adults.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to any of the stadiums,
Yeah.
you see them in that, it is adults,
Yeah.
men and women,
Yeah.
of all ages.
Yeah.
There is obviously kids and stuff in that.
Yeah.
So it's not just like kids like believe in wrestling.
No.
There is adults who,
Yeah,
and when
of
we
course.
grew up, it was there. So
Well, like I said, my dad got me into it.
yeah, no.
My dad.
So do you still think that the magic is there and the evolution of it, and it still hits the same with the storytelling stuff, or do you think it's changed a lot more?
It will never hit the same as the Attitude Era. That is when wrestling peaked, because you quite simply had the talent, and to get like a Rock and Austin together, whether it's just to get one, like you get one Hogan or you get a Bret Hart, but Rock and Austin were as big as them, if not bigger, at the same time.
Yeah.
And then your supporting cast was Triple H, Michaels, Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, Cena come along. I'm missing loads out. Angle, Shamrocks, loads.
Oh, there's loads, yeah.
Booker T's and all that. And then they all come back. And the storytelling then was peak. It was peak. It would never be better. But it lulled for a while because Vince McMahon just wouldn't change his ways. He was the owner. But now what Triple H is starting to do is starting to get back up a
it's
bit.
definitely-
Storylines, you can see the magic in it. So yeah, it's coming back. It will never be Attitude Era.
No, I agree.
But
yeah.
it's looks good. Looks like it's in a good spot.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have time to keep watching it, but I probably, if I did watch it, I'd still have that same like, oh my god,
Yeah.
because you do like
Yeah.
no matter what happens,
Yeah.
you see, and you can kind of see it. I think you see it a lot more now as you're older.
Yeah.
The matches, they might change, but it used to be like they'd start off and it'd always be like a few little punches or a few throws.
Yeah. Oh.
It'd all start off slow and it build up, and then it get into some suplexes
Yeah.
and more complex moves, and I get there, and then it's like, right, finishers are coming, so you know
Yeah.
that, or more kind of extreme moves like
Yeah.
jumping off turnbuckles or whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
You'd always have to like, oh, that's got to be it.
One,
To
two.
the amount of
Oh. Yeah.
breakouts, kickouts,
yeah.
we've probably been like, oh, there must have been like an Austin Rock one or something like that,
Yeah.
and they must have both kicked out, or it might
Yeah.
not have been them.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, how's he kicked out for the
Yeah,
fifth
yeah.
time?
I
You know,
know.
like, so you kind of could. I think back then it was a lot more magical for us, but I suppose now if you watch it, you know what's kind of going to happen, predictable. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Someone gets the upper hand, it changes back.
Yeah.
But I still think if I watch it, I think I'd still be like, oh, like, if
Definitely.
they were going to be like
Yeah.
entertaining, because some of the moves are still
Oh,
evolved
phenomenal.
than what they can do now.
Yeah.
There's a lot more kind of. I think there's a lot more acrobatic moves. Kind
Yeah,
of,
there probably would be.
stuff.
But also, it's like you said, it's still entertainment. Like, if people are like, "Oh, you're into wrestling," da, 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 it's the same as if you're into a series or a film.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. If you're into it, and you like it. Wrestling's the same. Like,
Yeah.
it's there to entertain you, and it does. Millions of people.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, millions of people. So I suppose, kind of like the wrapping up, and there's kind of going back to you, the listeners, a little bit is, what's your favourite WWE memory? We've kind
Yeah.
of mentioned that.
And
You know,
wrestler.
Wrestler.
Yeah.
Send in your own kind of wrestlers and that if you want to,
Yeah.
obviously. Who were you trying to RKO, maybe?
Yeah.
Or Rock Bottom, or
Yeah.
Stone Cold Stunner
Stunner.
when you were at school.
Yeah. Or Last Ride.
Last Ride.
Yeah.
You know, and give us some. We'll think of some. We'll look up for our social. We might put some polls up as well.
Yeah. Put some polls up. That'd be good.
Put some polls up for you to vote on and
So
stuff.
no,
I
we
think.
missed out on a trick. Is getting maybe not wasting these, but some other cans and Austin in it and going on that.
Yeah. Why didn't I not think of that?
Maybe we'll do like a little video, just like.
Yeah, we can do that. Definitely.
So, yeah.
Out there following it.
That flew by, mate.
It does, yeah. So, final thoughts, really. Do you think it kind of shaped us potentially?
I probably in some ways, like
Yeah.
catchphrases. You try to be like The Rock or Austin for sure, or like they're the popular ones, or Hogan. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And what young teenage boy or young boy happened to like a 17, 18-year-old was not doing the suck it,
Yeah.
suck it, you know?
I used to love
Everyone
that.
doing the people's eyebrow, or the Austin, or everyone.
Yeah, you do.
It's influenced millions of people. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it really. It's just kind of we'll end on this episode. As I said, we've gone down the memory route of wrestling when we grew
Yeah.
up, following on from kind of last week's episode where we said, we grew up and we
Yeah.
did a lot of things. I quite enjoyed that.
I really enjoyed.
Bit
We
memory
could have
lane
spoke about that
a lot longer.
a lot longer,
Also,
no doubt.
yeah, it's probably things we've missed out. It's a throw you
Probably
there.
just like scratch the surface of
Yeah,
wrestling.
literally.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've given you a great beer today,
Well, yeah, it's now number 2.
so check
Well
them
done,
out.
Arbor.
And like I said, use Beers of Europe using our link on our socials. So other than that, that's it from me.
Yeah, good topics, dog. That was that's it from us. Be sure, like Tin said, follow our socials. Look at the giveaway because it's still running until next Sunday.
Next Sunday, yeah.
When we'll do it automatically. There's like a program we can put all the names in.
You can do it online. You can
Do it fairly.
we can take the Instagram post.
We'll film it.
We'll do it. We'll film it. We'll put
it.
it up, and then,
Yeah.
like I said, as long as you're in the UK, you're over 18.
Yeah.
Obviously, proof of that. We will send out these 4 beers plus 4 more to you.
Yeah, might have to
all
put
paid-
one of them in there, you know.
all paid for by
Yeah,
us.
all paid for by us. And
yeah.
and thank you again for the 3,000 subscribers, the 1,000 followers on TikTok, subscribers YouTube. We are really grateful.
Very, very grateful.
And we'll see
Yeah.
you on the next one.
See you later, everyone.
Cheerio.